everybody. I spent every weekend out with them. And she just kind of supported everything I did. And when I played football, she would get shirts made with my jersey number on it. And she came to every game. When I got into wrestling, I talked about backyard wrestling. She convinced my grandfather to help me and my dad build a ring. So
wow.
It actually just got tore down because somebody had bought their property, and I was talking to them after my grandfather passed. I said something about the ring. They're like, "Oh yeah, we finally got that down. You guys sure built it to last." They pretty much had a deck with ropes in there on their property, but she's so supportive, and like she raised 6 boys, so she had already been through it once, and then she had my crazy ass. She was just my hero, man. My world changed when she passed, and she never got to see me wrestle. She never wanted
that.
She never wanted to at first, and then after she got sick, she had started saying that she wanted to, and I didn't want her to see me as a bad guy. I don't know why that mattered. She knew, but I didn't want her to see me as a bad guy. So I started talking to some promoters about, maybe let me turn babyface somewhere a little bit so I could take her. Before that could happen, she had went off to have a experimental surgery, and she didn't make it. But she never got to see me, and that breaks my heart a little bit. And that's part of the reason why I guess I've pressed so long. I don't know. I mean, she knew it was my dream, and she obviously helped me support it. So, like, I guess if I gave it anything less than all I had in it, it's dishonoring her somehow. And maybe that's just the way my mind thinks sometimes, but because I could have also said that about college. She also wanted me to walk across that aisle, and I haven't done that yet. So I am kind of putting her love behind something that I also enjoy.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not being 100%, but I mean, I do wish she could have saw me at least before she passed.
Yeah. Well, she's probably not missing one of your shows anytime soon, though.
I think about that a lot. She used to run a hotel in Nashville. Wrestlers would stay there. So she used to tell me stories. They never gave a crap about wrestling, but they'd tell me stories about, Buddy Rogers staying in their hotel and Tojo Yamamoto and Jackie Fargo. And she talk about Jackie Fargo and drunk as a skunk and all this stuff. So, as much as she would, because she tried to get me away from doing it forever, and then she'd tell me those stories, and I'm like, you're not doing anything to push me away.
Right.
Talking about these crazy, larger-than-life people, and I'm just like, I want to be around more of that. Normal's boring.
True. Pro wrestling is definitely one of those where you could sit in the back and there's a guy in a mask, there's a guy with face paint, there's a girl with a mask, there's, somebody that's maybe, roughly 5 feet tall, and then there's probably somebody there that's close to 7 feet tall, and then there's a guy that's at least 3 feet wide, and you're just looking around and you're like, how did I get here?
Yeah, man, wrestling's so strange, and it's getting back to, but it's always been where it's all sorts of different shapes and sizes. And for a while it wasn't. But I think it's getting there.
Yeah, I think so. We're definitely getting back to that. And I was having a conversation with somebody, and they were asking, like, do you think character wrestlers will make a comeback? I'm like, look at what AEW is doing with, you have an Orange Cassidy, you have a Danhausen, you have a Luchasaurus. Like, yeah, character wrestling is for sure making a comeback, and it's thriving.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And it never fully left. You've always had your Santino, stuff like that, but no, I can definitely see the comeback.
Yeah, I know. And then final on the 5 count, what would you tell your 17-year-old self?
Through all the frustration, all the miles, and everything you put put through and all the times you want to quit. There's been a couple times. I remember one time where I pulled up to the side of the bridge and was about to throw my boots off the side. Keep pushing through it. Somebody, gosh, and I wish I could remember who to attribute this advice to, told me that if you're good at what you do and you hang around long enough, you'll get a shot. And I didn't believe it. And then I've been decent at what I do and I hung around long enough and I've gotten a shot.
And then, all of a sudden some New Jersey number called you and look where you are now.
And all because I met him back in 2012. If
right.
You remember. He was actually, fun fact just to tie it all in together, Pat Kenny, Simon Diamond was the first name I met in wrestling. I was working security at a show in the fairgrounds, and we're just standing there waiting for people to come in, and all of a sudden behind me, I hear somebody go, "Have you ever just really studied a wrestling crowd?" And I turn around, and it's Pat Kenny and Honky Tonk Man.
What two different sides of the spectrum of pro wrestling that is. That's amazing.
I asked him about that the first taping I was back, and I reminded him about that story. He didn't remember meeting me, but he remembered riding with Honky Tonk Man to the show, and I got to hear that story, and that was a lot of fun.
That's a story that for off air, because Honky Tonk Man is a very old school brother, and he is he lived in a time where you can't get canceled, but now for a lot of the things you say and do, you can get canceled. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Honky Tonk Man would not be wrestling right now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Jeremiah, I had so much fun talking to you today. I feel like we could just keep doing this for hours, but I know you probably have other things to do with your day and your time. Thank you so much for being here. If people want to find you online, buy your merch, watch you on NWA, go check out you locally, how can they do all the things?
All right, so all my social media, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's all under Plunkitis. You can thank Danny Deals for that name. He called me that once, like 10 years ago, and I'm like, that's a good social media handle. So up with it. I've just moved all my T-shirts over back to Pro Wrestling Tees. I was using a site called Store Frontier, and their customer service hasn't been up to par. So literally today, I started moving the designs back. So it may take a couple days for them all to pop up, but it's prowrestlingtees.com/Jeremiah Plunkett. And just keep up my social media. That's where I put all my upcoming dates. And yeah, I mean, that's about it for me as far as NWA. All the tape reviews are brought to you on Fight TV, and we have NWA Power Tuesdays, 6:05 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, as well as NWA USA at 12 noon Saturdays Eastern on YouTube.
There we go. Jeremiah, again, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing where your career goes, and, you're more than welcome to come back anytime.
I would be happy to do it. Thanks, man. I appreciate you having me.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Jeremiah for being on the show. He is such a wealth of knowledge when it comes to pro wrestling. He is definitely on the rise, and he is doing a lot of fun things over in the NWA. And again, NWA 75 is happening this weekend, August 28th and 29th in Nashville, Tennessee. So definitely go to nwawrestling.com to find out even more. And again, make sure to sign up for our newsletter. You get to find out more about our guests and fun facts. We got a lot of fun facts every episode, or every little newsletter we got, which comes out every Tuesday and Thursday along with our show here. So definitely go make sure to check that out. And if you want to follow us on social media, it is Brewsers Pod. That is BREWSERSPOD. That is on the Instagram, Twitter, and the Threads. And also, if you want to send us an email, it is bruiserspod@gmail.com. We're also on YouTube, Reddit, and the Facebook. So definitely go and make sure to check us out. And if you want to follow me personally, it is Roadie John. That is RODIEJON. Roadie John is the name. That is on the Twitter and also on Untapped. Find out what I am drinking, and maybe we can have a beer together. If you want to follow me on Instagram and Threads, it is official Roadie John. And if you want to send me an email, it is roadiejohn@gmail.com. So until next time, make sure to go out and enjoy life, drink local, and cheers.